Okay, it's Tuesday, August 24th at 7 o'clock, and I'd like to call the regular caucus meeting of the City of Twinsburg to order. Shannon, would you call the roll?
Mr. Scafidi?
Here.
Mr. Fury?
Here.
Mrs. Labby?
Here.
Mrs. Stoffer? Here. Mr. Barr?
Here.
Mr. Bellin?
Here.
Mrs. Walker?
Present.
Okay, next we have a presentation, Control Systems IT Department.
Council, welcome back from summer break. So what we ended up doing is we started sitting down, like I want to say early January, about we had Johnson Controls and we're looking at this new vendor, Redshift Technology. The Twinsburg City Schools actually went with them. They've had great success with them, and we're just looking at owning it outright instead of leasing it with Johnson Controls that we have now.
What are you talking about? I don't know.
So access control, all it is, it's fire alarms, surveillance cameras, and door access readers. That's all it is. Just like
Okay, so this is the automatic doors?
yes,
Okay.
exactly right. Yep.
All right.
And then so the sites included, it's the government center, so City Hall and Police, Glen Eagles, Fire Station 1 and 2, the fitness center, the community center, and Public Works, and the VFW. So by going to a different vendor, we were actually able to add a couple more sites, which is pretty great. That was bring everything under one umbrella. That was really nice. Really, the biggest change is just the Fire Station 1 and 2 is getting access control for their medical closet, their outside doors, and then I'm trying to think, their camera systems will be upgraded from 07. I'm trying to think. So I just have a couple stats. So the police department was put in 14, so we're going up there in a few years. City Hall was in 17. We added the access door readers, and then Glen Eagles was in 18. So everything is about at that 5-year end of life. Just a couple benefits, and then I'll throw it out to you guys. We're adding additional sites, upgrading the cameras that we have in existence, adding a few additional door readers, and then one of the cool things is we'll actually have a smart reader on the generator in case of a power outage. So service is aware, IT is aware in case of an outage, so that'll be nice. And one of the biggest things that we're concerned with is the interoperability with the schools in case of like some type of incident that they have to respond to. That way they can get there, just get it right in, and there's no issues. I just want to thank Don and Mark for their input on the project. And with that, I'll open it up to questions if you guys have anything.
Do you want to do this in stages? Because wasn't it, total was a couple $100,000?
It's $274, I think, all in. Yeah, so I think the idea was that we would get everything done within a certain allotted time, because I think we're on month to month. Sarah, is that correct with Johnson Controls, except for
So what's happening is at the end of the day, this will be a cost savings. We were paying Johnson Controls $100,000 a year to lease all of this equipment.
And now we're going to buy it?
We're going to buy it, and that's in perpetuity, forever, $100,000 a year.
So the life cycle of this stuff's
5 to 10, probably.
Okay, correct, yes.
And so instead of $100,000 a year in perpetuity, we're going to do a little less than $100,000 a year for 3 years, pay off the equipment, and then it'll go down to like under $10,000.
Yeah, with monitoring it's $7,000. That's all we would pay, just a flat rate for all the sites.
So once we hit year 4, we're saving about $90,000 a year.
Okay, sounds good.
You guys have anything else?
Any other questions?
I like saving money.
Saving money's good.
Saving
No,
money's
no,
good.
anytime. Thank you guys.
Yeah. Thanks for all your work on that, Zach.
Why not wear glasses? Wear glasses.
Okay, I'm sorry. Any items of discussion?
There are none.
All right. Audience participation?
There is none.
Okay. I'm sorry.
All right.
Yeah.
Must be good candy.
Not candy. Pending legislation, we have 57-121. So resolution acknowledging receipt and review of the monthly financial statements for April through June of 2021. Any discussion? We do this all the time.
Once a quarter.
Every quarter, right. So anybody have anything to add to that? Okay. Then we have ordinance 58-2021. This is the annual ordinance to certify the delinquent sewer bills. It's on emergency tonight to get it down to the county in a timely manner, which we have a deadline there to get it down there by September. So, and we've done this, we do this annually as well. Any question on that or any more discussion? Okay, 59, 2021. It's a resolution to donate the old fire department radios to Metro SWAT. The equipment has already been replaced and newer products by our fire department. And there's a discussion on that. We've done donations before as well from the department. All right. Ordinance 60, 2021, this is an ordinance to award the bid for the 2021 tree planting program to Greenleaf Group Incorporated in the amount of $73,902.50. This includes both the 2021 fall planting and the 2022 spring planting, totaling over 200 trees. Reason for the emergency is to verify and tag at the nursery for the fall planting. Yeah, these companies have to go out there and tag these trees for us prior to it being too late in the season. And got it, Amy? Good. You have anything to add? Okay.
Is this a different company than we've used in the past?
I can't answer that.
You just wanted to get up, Bill, that's right.
I know.
You could have yelled from the back.
I know, but it wouldn't get taped. And you know, I love to be on the tape and the TV and all those things.
Oh, your
So,
favorite, yeah.
Yeah, Greenleaf we used, I think, in 2018. And then we had done smaller programs where we weren't actually even out to bid. We were only spending about $20,000 on trees and getting just estimates from multiple firms. So
So
we
is
have
Jason
used them, and I
Knowles
think in
still involved in this?
2018. Pardon?
Is Jason Knowles still involved in this?
He
now?
is still involved in helping us with the nurseries as far as species availabilities and checking to make sure we're getting good product.
So he's tagging the trees.
He'll be doing the tagging,
Okay.
yeah, to make sure we
All right.
get stuff that's hasn't been sitting out in the back lot forever.
Bigger calipers, just.
Bigger calipers, bigger money.
Amy, do you have the list of addresses?
Yes.
Thank you. If you could send it, that would be awesome.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right, anything else on that one? All right, we have Resolution 61, 2021. This is a resolution is for the top agreement with Airgas USA LLC. Initial staff will move soon with additional full-timers coming in a year or so. It will be for 7 years at 25%. Anything to add to that? Okay. And then we have Resolution 62, 2021. That is the resolution to congratulate Chief Noga on his retirement and to thank him for his service. We're going to be doing that tonight under awards and presentations. And at that time, we'll call for a roll there and we'll pass it there. And then we can go around the table here.
I'm missing this. Is it, what's his number?
62.
62.
Okay.
And then if council has anything they
Oh, I
want to
see it up
say
there.
to him, yeah, then we could say it at that time.
Yeah, I should have been smarter than that. I got it.
It'll be read, and then the mayor will present it, well, he'll read the resolution to him. Okay, so that's it. 63, Ordinance 63, 2021, it's an ordinance to lease 2 vehicles for the police department, and the reason for emergency is to enter into an agreement as soon as possible. Any questions on that from anyone? Okay. Under miscellaneous, does council have anything under miscellaneous to add or discuss?
Mr. President,
Fury.
thank you. I would like to discuss council rules briefly. It's been brought to my attention that Mr. Scafidi, who is serving as council president currently, the way our rules are written today, cannot be elected to a full term in December. He was the vice president. The president resigned. He took that position. He was not elected to president. But it says that you can't be president more than once in 4 years currently. So if we simply made the change in the first sentence on page 3 of the council rules under 111.05 for it to read, at the first meeting in December, president of council shall be determined by a vote of their peers. Each council person shall serve, if so desired, but shall not be elected president more than once in 4 years. And the change would be adding elected prior to president. Another option, which is, or is just to put leave it the way it is and put, or unless you're fulfilling an unexpired term. But it's cleaner just to stick that one word in there, as Mr. Maestros pointed out to me. So,
Just to add to this, this isn't, it's happening right now, but this is not just for me. I mean, this could happen in the future as well to any one of us up here. If the president resigns, or the vice president might be, then they basically lose their term or their rotation according to the rules of council.
for instance, if the president of council decided to run for mayor, he cannot be the president of council and run for mayor for another rule that's in here. So that would be another thing that might possibly cause a president to resign.
Yeah, and that's specifically addressed. I mean, the vice president would finish out the new term until president is voted in.
Right.
So
I'm fine with that language, elected.
do I need a motion, Dave, in the regular meeting, or do I need a resolution?
No, I think we adopted, well,
We need to change legislation.
we did, we passed
Okay.
legislation.
So can
last
we
meeting.
have that change added and just have it spit out as a resolution?
Sure. We'll correct that and bring it at the next meeting.
Thank you very much, unless anybody has a different way to do it or discount it.
I mean, you're literally adding one word, right, if I'm
Yeah,
understanding?
But I do have a question. What if the president is unable to serve in beginning of January of their term? Like maybe we want to put if there's less than 6 months remaining, whatever the case may be, but what if it's a full year? And I don't imagine that happening. I don't know.
Well, that would be like December, because they take over in
They
December.
take over in
Right.
December,
So-
but let's say January.
Yeah, they resign.
Yeah.
Resign, or
Move.
Well, we can
That's
always,
a
I mean,
month,
if that were the case, though, we still have the opportunity to elect the next president,
Right.
right? So, I guess my point would
They
be-
on 2 years. so-
but we don't have to, though, is what I'm
You don't
saying.
have to, if you had somebody that served 11 months, you don't have to elect them to the, you still have an election the following December.
Right. So, for example, if
Right.
Joanne would have left in, say, January 1,
Right.
and then Sam would have had 11 months,
Right.
I would personally vote to just vote for the next person,
Right.
because Sam had that
11 months.
That 11 months.
Yeah, so it's already taken.
Right, as opposed to
Yeah.
half a dozen meetings from
So
now to the end of the year.
putting elected in there wouldn't change the opportunity to do that, but it does
Right.
allow the situation and the other situations we discussed.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
And that's all I had.
Okay. I have one item that I wanted to discuss. I wanted to just get a feel for council. Our trash contract comes up at the end of March, and we have a 2-month clause in there that we have to, we would have to give them notice prior to, 2 months prior to that, in order to make a change. Otherwise, it just automatically renews at whatever terms, and I'm not really sure, okay, what the terms will be for the next time. But I do know that we haven't gone out to bid. It's been some time since we've done that. And so I just wonder what council's thoughts are. I would like to go out to bid, and we would have to do that ahead of time in order to be able to put in our notice if we were gonna make any change or not.
But there's a risk involved, right?
Pardon me?
Is there a risk involved if we do that?
I guess I don't know. I mean, what do you mean a
Ted,
risk?
what's the understanding now? I know wastewater
yeah, I think-
continue.
There would
I
be
don't know
risk.
what the increase is. I've looked at, I've got a copy of the,
Yeah, I think in the past we've had built in it's probably 3%. Yeah, I think it's a 3 to 5% adder. 3%
It is.
each year. I
And
guess
there's a
the
fuel
risk.
thing also.
right.
The risk is that it goes out to bid, and I guess Waste Management comes back the lower bid, but is 20% higher than what we're currently paying. I guess that's your risk. I don't know if that's the case, but that would be the risk.
But we don't know where we're going after the end of this term.
Correct, yeah, we have not
don't know what they're
started.
gonna automatically do.
In the past, as we started approaching the end, we would enter into a negotiation with Waste Management to try to keep any increase minimal and base it off of what our existing contract is. I think in the past, we've had issues with, like, we're a unique, I think municipality with a 1-day service for the size of our community. So keeping it all on one day throughout the whole entire city, and just certain things that you'd have to build into the bid specs. But yes, I mean, Sam's right. We haven't gone out to bid for a number of years. We've negotiated with Waste Management each time it starts coming up to renewals, but we haven't gone out to bid.
Just in the paper a couple weeks ago, it said the township was only gonna pay like a cap of $400,000 a year, and that they were getting charged $17.50 per stop. I don't know what our per stop is, but they can't be.
We're like 12 or 13, I think, a stop, something like that. Yeah. And that could be because of the size. I don't know, but I don't know the trash industry that well.
But I don't remember the last time we had anybody bid this out. I mean, I think it's like 10 years.
Yeah, we haven't bid it. It's been a while.
So
I agree. It hasn't been bid in a while.
I'd like to see what the options are.
Yeah.
My only concern that I had a conversation with a council person in Streetsboro, and they are currently going through some garbage issues, some recycling issues, and I know they went out to bid, and they got a significantly worse deal. And now they're a little bit different, and they are much more spread out than we are, but they are about the same number of households. They're in a situation where their recycling contractor actually reneged, so they
That
don't.
for the whole county, though.
They did. So they don't have any recycling, and then they're also different than us in that they're charging their residents for garbage. But that's my concern. I guess to the mayor's point, we are unique in terms of what we provide for our customers or our residents, and my concern is that I don't think there's anything wrong going to bid, right? Because in theory, you're going to get the best deal if you go out to bid. But my concern is I don't know that whether it's Waste Management or anybody else is going to be able to provide close to what we have. That's my concern.
All right, and I get that. That's a good concern. But the only thing that I think we have in our favor is we have two companies, and it all depends on distance as well, where they're coming out of, where they operate out of, where they have to go dump. Okay, we've got two companies right here, Waste Management and Republic Waste, that are right here. One is in Glen Willow, and one is right there. Well, actually, on the border of Glen Willow and Oakwood.
Yep.
On Richmond Road. You've got Waste Management over there, which is where we're serviced out of. And then you've got right over the landfill here is Republic Waste, which, that's where they would be dumping there too at their transfer stations. And then there's another transfer station right here. So we've got a lot of dumping areas right here. They don't have to travel.
Right.
And so that weighs into part of their
I guess the
cost
only,
as well. I'm not sure. I don't even know who Streetsboro uses.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not really aware of any transfer stations or landfills over in their vicinity.
Yeah, and I guess then the only other question I would have, not even a concern, just a question, because I don't know, if we were to change to somebody else, presumably there would be an additional cost to us for all the bins, right? We have the bins today that are waste bin, right? Those are waste bin.
We do. What we would do, and we would have to have this conversation with council, is we would want to include a certain number of things in the bid specs. I assume we want to stay one-day service. I assume we want a package of recycling and trash pickup. I assume that we want the bins, no matter who the contractor is, to be part of the contract that has to be provided. We would include all that in the bid specs and put that out there. I mean, that's what we did really last time that we did this, and that's why our initial contract with Waste Management was a 5-year contract, because otherwise it would not, they needed that 5 years to recoup where they were at with the provision of all those bins. So, and we have a number of other bid specs that we would have to include of services the city provides concerning trash pickup for our own locations, different parks, different events that we have that they provide trash pickup for. So if we want to include all those, we want to include them in the bid specs to put out there, so we don't.
So does Chris write the bid spec with you? Or?
We've already started that process.
Okay.
We anticipated this, so
Okay.
we're 90% done with the bid specs. We can get them to you.
And so it's been 10 years-ish, I don't know exactly. Are the things that would be in the bid spec this time were they in there last time, or was it something and then we have kind of amended that and added to it over the last decade?
The majority of them were in there last time, but we have uncovered a few quirks with the city in trash pickup concerning non-dedicated streets, concerning other residential
Yeah, I know
pickups that
there's
we
those
have
couple
to
that were-
address.
Yeah, okay.
In some manner. They're either going to be included or not included, but we have to address that. So the thought is that we'll be able to get you the bid specs probably in one of, your second meeting in September. Council, whether you want council as a whole or public works or committee or wherever you want that to go, and you could have that discussion and we can walk through that with plenty of time to get those bids out in October. We could run them for 30 days, puts us into November, December and that gives us enough time to meet
Enough
that.
time to give notice if we need to.
So from a timing standpoint, we're good. We can do it.
So you don't need a motion or anything to do this?
No, if that's council's desire, we can get you a draft bid specs in September.
Okay, so we don't need anything now, like he said.
No, if that's what you want to do, not a problem.
Council okay with that?
Well, I'm curious, are there other cities that have similar programs to ours that we could, are we allowed to just ask and say, hey, we need to pay? Like, or is this something that you're not?
Sure, that's
As
all
far as
public
costs, well,
knowledge.
we can find out
As far as
costs.
costs, but with the neighboring cities,
public
it's
knowledge.
similar. And then when theirs was, before I would just hate to get stuck in something where we're gonna be paying a lot more.
It's a difficult apples to apples comparison when you're talking about multi-day pickup, when you're talking about whether or not recycle is included or not included. I mean, recycling used to be something that trash haulers wanted. Now they lose money on recycling, so it's gone the other way in 10 to 12 years. I mean, it has flipped. We can get those numbers from other cities. I know they're out there, but it's hard to kind of dig down to say this is an equal comparison compared to what we're asking for.
There's communities that do recycling every other week, and they do trash every week, recycling every other. I mean, it's tailored to that community and what works for them.
Which I
Right.
think-
So, yeah.
The trash
it's a
may, the
little-
trash may come 3 times a week,
Right.
it just depends on the
Yeah.
different municipality.
Sam, who do you use in Glenville?
Republic.
Republic.
Services, yeah.
You've been pretty happy with them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very happy.
It's a $1.4 million expense a year. We should check it.
I think
In
it's
my
something
opinion.
we need to-
Yeah. Again, my concern is, that we get kind of,
would
So we
be-
I can't find the right word, but yeah, but,
That's when we get Dave to
yeah.
fix it for us.
okay. But I will defer, that's fine.
Okay, anybody else, any other comments? Okay, anybody else have any miscellaneous? Okay, hearing none, we will adjourn the caucus meeting, and we will be back at 7:30 with the regular council meeting. Anybody wishing to speak at council, please come up and sign your name.